Hello students, today we are going to study about class 10th chapter 1 from first flight, A Letter to God. This is the story A Letter to God from G.L. Fuentes, Gregorio Lopez Fuentes. He is a Mexican writer. He has written story about a poor farmer. So here we are going to read about A Letter to God. This story, first I am just going through a character sketch of this story. This story recounts about the hard life and the extreme faith in God of a poor farmer, Lencho. Lencho was a poor farmer. He lost his crop due to heavy rain and hailstones, and it was the only source of income. Now naturally farmers' only source of income is farming the crops, and through which they can carry out their livelihood. So he was a poor farmer and his only source of income was by earning money through fields and through crops, and he firmly believes, now here you will see, he firmly believes that God will help him in any situation. So this poor farmer, he goes through a very tough time, all his crop is destroyed, but his faith is full that he is going to get help from God. God will not let him suffer. He writes a letter to God and to seek help, and the postmaster along with some of his employees, he just did not want to break the faith of Lencho, and so they tried to help him out. So this was just a short character sketch of this story. Now we will move in detail. First, the main characters of this story. Lencho is the main character of this story. He was a poor farmer. He lived on the crest of a low hill with his family. In the valley, his house was the only house, and very important characteristic is firm believer of God. He had a strong faith in God. He had an undying faith in God. He is very innocent, and the best quality is he is optimistic. He is hopeful, and he is very caring and responsible. The second main character is the postmaster. The postmaster is a fat, amiable fellow, and he helped Lencho to retain his faith in God. When he saw that Lencho had a strong faith in God, he said his faith should not be broken. And so he takes certain steps so that his Lencho could be helped. He gave a part of his salary in the charity for Lencho on behalf of God. The next characters, which are not very important but still their role exists in the story, they are post office employees. Now post office employees worked under postmaster, and postmaster requested them to collect some amount so that the faith of Lencho could not be broken. So they contribute some amount and they give it to Lencho. And in the end, the irony in the story is that these employees which gave help to Lencho called them a bunch of crooks. So this is a short gist of the story. Now let's go in detail about A Letter to God. Here I have taken the main points, but I will be explaining it to you. Now A Letter to God, the story begins with the description of Lencho's house. Lencho's house was the only house in the entire family, in the entire valley, on the crest of a low hill. Crest. What is crest? Crest of a low hill. Crest is the top. His house was located on the top of a low hill, and from his house he was able to see the river, the cornfields, and at that moment when the story is being written, at that moment the cornfields were dotted with the flowers. That means the corn was full of flowers, and very soon he was expecting a good production. Lencho knew his fields intimately. What does this line mean? Lencho, in the text, when you will read the text, you will find these lines. Lencho knew his fields intimately. Now obviously a farmer is spending most of his time in the fields. So intimately means he has a bonding with his fields. He knows everything about his fields, and he works with full dedication and devotion in his fields. So he knew his fields intimately means how much hard labor he had done. He knew that my field is going to give me that much crop. So he worked very hard. He worked very hard and he was expecting a good crop. Only thing required was a downpour. So Lencho worked a lot in his fields, and he worked day and night, and he was expecting only thing was a downpour. Now what is a downpour? Downpour is heavy rainfall. But he said, okay fine, if not a downpour, at least a shower. A shower means light rainfall. So what actually needed was rain, water. So the crop was ready, the cornfields were dotted with flowers. Now he was expecting downpour or at least a shower so that he could get a good crop. Now the corn was ready with white flowers. The corn was ready and white flowers were there in the fields. He is sitting outside, Lencho is sitting outside, and he is looking towards the northeastern clouds, waiting for rain. So towards the northeast in the clouds he saw, and he was waiting for rain. Now we are really going to get some water, women. Yes, God willing. Now see students, whenever you are writing your answers, you need to quote certain text and certain phrases in your answer from the text so that your answer gives a good impression to the examiner. So these in red which I have written, that these lines are to be quoted in your answers by you when you are writing your answers. So these lines by Lencho and his wife shows their optimism. He is so optimistic. He knows that God is there. So he is looking towards the northeastern clouds, and he is looking towards the northeastern clouds waiting for the rain, and when he saw the clouds he knew that now he is going to get a shower, and so he is talking to his wife and is telling, now we are really going to get some water, woman. Now woman is referred to Lencho's wife. Now Lencho is talking to his wife, he is telling to his wife that now we are going to get some water, woman. Woman means to his wife, he is telling that, showing his hope, showing positivity, showing optimism that now we will get some water which we are expecting, which we are in dire need. So he said, now we are really going to get some water, woman. Wife replies, yes, God willing. Now here children, you can see optimism. Here what you will see? Optimism. He is so optimistic. He is optimistic that yes, both husband and wife, that means not only Lencho, his wife also had full faith in God. God willing, that means God is going to help them. They were expecting a good shower, they were expecting a good downpour, and they knew that God is going to help them. So when you are writing the characteristics of Lencho, one main characteristic is optimism. He had faith, he was very positive, and second is undying faith in God. Undying faith. Second is undying faith in God. He had an undying faith that God will not leave them without any crop. God is going to help them in any condition. So these lines, when you are writing the characteristics of Lencho and his wife, kindly mention these lines, quote these lines as it is from the text, that we are really going to get some water, woman. Yes, God willing. That means they had extreme faith, they had undying faith in God, and that is why he had that God is going to help him. Now, when the question comes, describe the house and the family of Lencho, you need to mention all these things. The valley, his house was the only house and at the crest of the low hill, and he could see the rivers and his fields from there. The woman was preparing supper. Who is the woman? The woman is Lencho's wife. So he was preparing supper. She was preparing supper. The older boys were working in the field. Father had made the children also work in the field. So the older boys were working in the field. The smaller ones were playing near the house. So when you are asked to describe the house or the starting of the chapter, you need to mention these lines. So now the wife was preparing supper, older boys were working in the fields, smaller ones were playing near the house. Now Lencho's prediction. What was Lencho's prediction? Lencho's prediction was shower, a downpour. What was his prediction? Shower. He was expecting a shower. He was expecting a downpour. So Lencho's prediction turns true. He came to know that now there are clouds in the northeast. Northeast in clouds. He was expecting a good rain, and his prediction turns true. He gets a good rain. The rain starts falling. Fresh, clean air begins to blow, and big drops of rain falls. As was expected by Lencho, the rain started falling. He went out to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. Now here, what characteristic? Love for nature. Which characteristic? Love for nature. He was not just admiring. He was not just admiring the rain. He loved to feel the pleasure of the raindrops on his body. So on the first characteristic, optimism. Second characteristic, undying faith in God. Third characteristic, love for nature. So you need to mention the text when you are writing the characteristics. You will write adjectives and then you will mention the lines from the text. So he went out to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. He wanted to feel the raindrops on his body. Yes, now he compares raindrops to new coins. He compares raindrops to new coins. Now another small short questions. What are the raindrops compared to? Now 1 mark question, 1 word question, 1 word answers. What were the raindrops compared to? He compared the raindrops to new coins. He compared the raindrops to new coins. And he specified that the big drops were like 10-cent pieces and the small drops were like 5-cent pieces. So, 1 mark on question, what were the raindrops compared to? The raindrops were compared to new coins. 2 marks question will be, what were the raindrops compared to the big ones and the small ones? Here you need to mention that the raindrops were compared to new coins. The big drops were compared to 10-cent pieces and the small drops were compared to 5-cent pieces. Now, after looking in the sky, after seeing the clouds, he felt satisfied and he regarded the field of ripe corns with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. Now, he regarded the field of ripe corns with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. Draped means covered. So, if the fields were covered with the raindrops and he was feeling satisfied, he was very much satisfied that thank God, whatever I was expecting, I got it. I got a downpour, I got a shower, and now my fields will be full of corn. So, he was satisfied and he regarded the field of ripe corns with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. The corn was covered with rain. It was covered with a curtain of rain. Suddenly, there is a change. The atmosphere changed. Suddenly there was a change and a strong wind blew. Now what we expect and what actually happens is shown in this chapter. He was expecting a downpour, fine, he got it. Okay, the rain started. But suddenly the atmosphere changed and strong wind starts blowing. Strong winds starts blowing and large hailstones along with the rain fell. Now downpour was needed, shower was needed, but not the hailstones. So the change in atmosphere bringing a negativity in the story started with optimism. Okay, he is hoping for a good crop. but along with the rain, along with shower. But here what happened? What we expect not always happens. So here what happened? Strong wind blew, large hailstones along with the rain fell. Not only raindrops, it was hailstones. Big hailstones started falling on the fields. Hailstones resemble new silver coins. Earlier they were small hailstones, so he was okay, fine, it's okay. So he said, okay, they are like new silver coins. Now see, when you are writing short answers, be very careful. Raindrops compared to new coins, hailstones compared to silver coins. Don't get confused, okay? You need to be specific. Raindrops were compared to new coins, whereas hailstones are compared to silver coins. Now, boys collected the frozen pearls. Again here, another 1 mark question. What are frozen pearls referred to in the chapter? So here, frozen pearls also hailstones. Frozen pearls also compared to hailstones. So 3 1 mark question prepared. What are the raindrops compared to? New coins. What are the silver coins prepared compared to? Resemble hailstones, and frozen pearls also hailstones. So frozen pearls are the hailstones in the chapter. It's really getting bad now. Again, I have marked in red means these text, these lines you have to quote in your answers. It's really getting bad now. I hope it passes quickly. Now, Lencho is telling to his wife and his family members, he's telling it's really getting bad now. It's really getting bad. I hope it passes quickly. Again, see, he's seeing the condition, hailstones. So naturally there will be a loss, there will be destruction in his fields. Still this hope. So, characteristic, when you are writing optimism as a characteristic, you have to write these lines. That when there was a storm, when there were hailstones falling, still he was having a hope. I hope it passes quickly. So much of optimism in Lencho. So you need to mention these lines as it is. Okay? So it's really getting bad now. He knows. He has understood that there will be destruction in his crops. But still positivity, still hope, still optimism is there. I hope it passes quickly. An hour the hail rained. Hailstones rained for 1 full hour. 1 full hour means complete destruction. Not a leaf remained on the trees. Not a single leaf remained on the trees. Everything was destroyed. And he was very sad. Naturally, a farmer has complete faith in his fields. He is waiting for the crops. After working for 8 months, 10 months, 12 months, he is waiting for his crops. And if this happens at the last stage, naturally some tension, some worry, some sadness will be there. Now, corn was totally destroyed. A plague of locust would have left more than this. Now he said, a plague of locust would have left more than this. Now at present, in the present situation, our country is being attacked by locust. So you must be knowing, locust, it's a swarm of insects called locust. They come in a bulk and within minutes the whole field is destroyed. They eat the main corn and they finish everything. Within minutes the complete field is destroyed. So after he is comparing that if a plague of locusts would have attacked on my fields, at least something would have remained. But now the hail has left nothing. Everything was destroyed due to hailstones. So he is comparing that if a plague of locusts would have attacked, at least something I would have got. But this hailstone has destroyed everything. This year, a plague of locusts would have left more than this. The hail has left nothing. This year, we will have no corn. So he said that now everything is destroyed, I can't help it. We can't help it. When things are done, after that, we cannot think that, oh may God, it may be a dream. No, nothing like that. Destroyed is destroyed. So he said, all our work for nothing. So much effort, so much of hard work we did, but we got nothing. There is no one who can help us. Now these are the textual content which you need to put in your answers. So there is no one who can help us. He said there is no one who can help us. We'll all go hungry this year. Now this is still not showing hopelessness. He is not showing that we'll be hopeless or we'll not get, yes, but that is the result. He is telling the end result that because of this destruction, because of the hailstones, we have to go without food. We have to go without, and there was no one who can help us. That no one is there who will help us. Now in part 1, as we have seen, Lencho, a poor farmer, his field was destroyed, his crop was completely destroyed, but still he had a single hope. Now here in part 2 we are going to read about his hope in faith, his faith in God. Everyone had a single hope, help from God. Now their fields were destroyed, the crop was completely destroyed by hailstones, but still they had a hope. Now here positivity, optimism, he is very optimistic and he had a hope that God is going to help him. Don't be so upset even though this seems like a total loss. No one dies of hunger. Now here undying faith in God, that if God has given us life, He is surely going to give us food. He will help us in our survival. So don't be so upset even though this seems like a total loss. No one dies of hunger. Again hope. Again faith that they will survive. Though they have faced a loss, still they will be able to survive. God's eyes see everything, even what is deep in one's conscience. Here we say that God is everywhere. God is omnipresent. He watches us from everywhere and He knows what is there in our conscience. We may not be projecting our feelings, we may not be telling what we are suffering through, but God sees everything. He sees everything what is deep inside us. All the problems we are facing, He knows everything and He is going to help us. So the main theme of this chapter is undying faith in God. God is going to help us. Lencho was an ox of a man. Now Lencho was an ox of a man means he is compared to an ox. Just like an ox works in a field day and night, it is so laborious. Similarly, Lencho was also very laborious. Like an ox, he worked in his fields. Day and night he worked just to get good crop. Working like an animal in the fields, but still he knew how to write. Now here, characteristic of Lencho. He is compared to an ox. Showing what? Showing his hard working nature. He was very hard working. Lencho was very hard working. Now, working like an animal in the fields. Again he is compared to an animal. Just like animals work in the fields. He was like an animal, hard working, continuously working in the fields, but still he knew how to write. Now still he knew how to write shows what? Animals are hard working in the same manner, he was also hard working. But animals are not educated. They are not qualified. But still he knew. Means he was hard working like animals, but he knew to read and write at least. He did not have any degree, he was not too much qualified, but that much he knew that he could write and read. So here again we will focus on two qualities of Lencho. One was he was very hard working, just like an ox, he worked hard. Second thing, he like an animal in the fields. Second thing was he knew how to read and write. So he did not have too much degrees and all, but he was at least able to read and write. He was literate. At least that much at least he was able to do. So what he decides to do, he knew God is there to help him. That much confidence he had that God is going to help him. So he decides to write a letter to God, and he writes a letter to God and he puts it in the envelope and addressed it to God. Writes the letter, put it in an envelope and address it to God. So he writes a letter to God, and in the letter he demanded for 100 pesos. Now again you will see He is not crying, he is not crying on his adversity, on his adverse conditions, that oh God, what you have done and I don't have money, everything is finished. No. He demanded money, 100 pesos, but to sow his seeds. That means he was the one that after falling down, I have to get up and walk again or run again. So this again, one of the quality of Lencho, he did not give up. He did not cry on his adverse situations. He did not just blame God that what you have done and this, I am facing so much problems. No. He demanded 100 pesos to sow his seeds. He said, God, I just want 100 pesos so that I can sow my seeds and start again. So this again one of the quality, he did not give up. Lencho did not give up. He was ready to start from zero. Now when he wrote a letter, he just addressed the envelope, he wrote the address to God and put it in the mailbox. When he put it in the mailbox, a postman who was sorting the letters, he just saw this letter and he laughed out loud. Because it was quite natural. The first instinct whenever we will see a letter written to God, we will laugh. So he also laughed a lot and he took the letter to the postmaster. Now, the role of postmaster comes. Postmaster, he was a fat, amiable fellow. What do you mean by amiable? Amiable means very friendly. He was a very friendly character. He was very friendly with his employees and other people. So, postmaster, when you are writing the character sketch, you have to mention the appearance also. He was a fat, amiable fellow. He also laughed when he saw the letter addressed to God. But after just few minutes, he became serious. First he laughed, his first instinct was of laughing after seeing the letter written to God. But just after few minutes, he became very serious. He became serious because he started analyzing that what was the dire need that a person has to rely on God or has to write a letter to God. So he commented, what faith! I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter. Now he is saying, I wish I had the faith of the man who has written this letter. He has such strong faith, he has so much confidence in God that God is going to help him. I wish even I also had the same faith in God. Starting up a correspondence with God. That much faith he had, that much confidence he had that if I am writing a letter to God, God is going to respond. So much faith he had in God. So he is comparing himself. He is saying first he is admiring Lencho that wow, what a great faith in God. He is expecting and he knows that he is going to get, that much confidence he has. So he is saying, I wish I had the same faith. He is saying that I wish I had the same faith. Not to shake the writer's faith, he decides to answer his letter. Now he was an amiable fellow. Amiable means friendly fellow. He was sympathetic, he was empathetic. So he said no. This person's faith should not be broken. I should be trying something for him. So he said, I will do my best so that this person's faith in God is not broken. So not to shake the writer's faith, he decides to answer his letter through God. He would be answering the letter, but from God. So he opens the letter. After opening the letter, he reads the content and he opened the letter and he understood that it was written, he has written to God, Lencho has written to God that he needed 100 pesos. Now pesos is currency of America. So he said that God, I need 100 pesos to sow my seeds. So when he read the letter, he understood. Now 100 pesos was a big amount at that time. So he understood and he himself was not able to give the complete amount. 100 pesos was not a small amount. So he understood that this is not only about goodwill, ink or paper. He had, as a postmaster, he had goodwill, good reputation in the society, and he had ink and paper, means the documents, the official documents in the post office. So he said, these three things are not enough. I will be needing something more than this. That was money. What was needed? What was needed was money. He said that money will be needed, and money is not, it's not, 100 pesos was not the amount he alone can pay. So he said that it needed something more than his reputation, his documents and his official documents. So he decided, but then he had thought that I will not break his faith, so he decided to work for it. He stuck to resolution. He stuck to resolution means I have decided that I will not let Lencho's faith break in God. So I am going to help him. Whatever help I could do, I will be doing it. So he asked for money to all his employees. He went to all his employees and he told that let's contribute. This person has strong faith in God and he is so much in need of money. So let's contribute some amount, some part of the salary we can contribute, and then we can send the money to Lencho. He told his friends, and they said that it's an obligation, but could you please put some contribution in this act of charity. This is an act of charity. Helping a person who is in need is an act of charity. The person who is in need is an act of charity. So he decides to tell his friends, relatives and all the employees to contribute whatever amount they can so that they can help Lencho who was in great need. He puts more than half. More than half means half is 50, more than half is 70. So he puts more than half, 70 pesos in an envelope addressed to Lencho with a signature God. He did not put his own name. He contributed money, and what was the amount? One more question. What was the amount? 70 pesos. So he collected 70 pesos. He puts them in the envelope and he addressed it to Lencho with a signature of God. That means, now we come to the third part and the last section of this chapter. Here when Lencho writes, when Lencho receives the letter from God, he opens. He came to the post office. He was sure that he is going to get the reply. So he came next Sunday, he came and he went to the post office. He came earlier because he was expecting that God is going to reply. Now here you will see his confidence in God, that God is going to reply. So the same postman, he handed the letter to him, and postmaster, he wanted to experience that contentment. He wanted to see the satisfaction on the face of Lencho. So he just sat aside. He wanted to see what the postman is, what was the reaction of Lencho. So when the postman handed the letter to Lencho, postmaster sat at one side and he wanted to experience the contentment of a man, contentment, satisfaction. He wanted to see the emotions, the feelings of satisfaction on the face of Lencho, and so he wanted to get himself satisfied because he has done an act of charity. He had helped Lencho, so he wanted to get that feeling of satisfaction after seeing the satisfaction on the face of Lencho. So he, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed, looked on from his office. So he had done a good deed, he had done an act of charity. So that whenever you are helping others, you feel satisfied when the other person is happy, when the other person is satisfied. So that satisfaction and that happiness you will also feel. So postmaster wanted to feel that, and that is why he just sat aside and looked towards Lencho, that what his feelings and what his expressions were. Now when Lencho received the letter, he was not at all surprised. Just see his confidence and his faith. He did not show any surprise. He was so confident that I have written a letter and God is going to respond. So there was no surprise on his face that God has replied me. In a very comfortable and easy manner, he took the letter. Instead, he became angry, and after reading the letter, he became angry. After seeing the letter, he became angry. Why? Because there were only 70 pesos. If there was only 70 pesos in the envelope, and that made him very angry because he had expected full 100 pesos, whereas he got only 70 pesos. Now again see his confidence. He knew that if I have asked God for 100 pesos, God is going to give me 100 pesos. But when he saw 70 pesos, he got annoyed. He became angry. He became angry for what? Not on God. Because God, if he has asked God 100 pesos, God is going to give him 100 pesos. That was his confidence. God could not have made a mistake. And he was confident that God cannot make a mistake. God would have given 100 pesos. Somewhere in between the problem has occurred. So, his confidence on God, his faith in God, his unwavering faith in God, that God could not have made a mistake. Now, at once, the moment he counted the pesos, it was 70, without thinking anything. Quickly he went to the window and he asked for paper and ink because he wanted again to write the letter to God. He took paper and ink from the office and he started to write letter to God with much wrinkling of brow. What much wrinkling of brow? Wrinkling of brow means when you have wrinkles on your forehead. Why? When you are showing your anger, your worry, your tension. So there are wrinkles on your brows. So caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. So those tensions, those worries were there on his face because he wanted to show his anger plus his tension, his worries about the rest of the amount. That God, I had asked for 100 pesos, but only 70 is there. So he made a lot of effort to show his expression of getting less amount. So next he writes a letter to God. And he reminds God that you have given only 70 pesos. He had asked for 100 pesos, but he received only 70 pesos. So sent by him, and he asked the letter that God please send me rest 30 pesos. So he asked God not to send. Now see the climax. Okay, he is asking God that God sent me the rest of the 30 pesos, but keep one thing in mind. Don't send it through mail. Now see the irony over here. He is sending that don't send the rest 30 pesos through mail, as the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. Now can you imagine the people who had done the act of charity, the people who had contributed the amount and sent it to him so that his faith in God is not broken. For those people, he said that they are a bunch of crooks. So this is the irony in the chapter. Now just the people who helped him, they are called bunch of crooks by him. But his faith in God is so much. He never thought that these people could have done this. He had faith in God only. So his unwavering faith in God proves that he will get the amount, but this time he said please don't send it through mail because these employees are very crooked. They are a bunch of crooks. And they have already, you must have sent me 100 pesos, but he has taken, but these employees have taken 30 pesos and sent the rest of the 70 pesos. So now just quickly we will go through the overview of the chapter. The first portion is Lencho's hope of good harvest. In the beginning we have seen that Lencho was a poor farmer. He worked hard on his fields so that he can get a good crop. Everything was ready. Okay, the crop, the corns, the flowers were ready and he was expecting a downpour. But instead of a downpour, he got hailstorm. So now second thing was important theme is his firm belief in God. He knew that God is there for him and God is there going to help him. So his firm belief in God, he was a poor farmer and due to hailstorm he had lost his crop, but still he was not disheartened. He felt sad, which was quite natural, but he did not lose any faith in God. He knew that God is going to help him and God was his last hope. So he decides to write a letter to God and he asked for 100 pesos. Now again see, 100 pesos to sow seeds. Okay, that means he never gave up. Okay, fine, what is done is done. Now I have to make a new start. So this is again a lesson that what is over, but now I cannot just cry for what is destroyed. I have to start again to sow seeds. So he asked God to send him 100 pesos to sow his field and to support his family. And he also wrote that if God didn't help him, his family would die with hunger. That God was the last hope, and if he doesn't get this help, his family will have to suffer. Now, turning of Lencho's hope into despair. Now, see here, this is one of the theme in which you can say that Lencho's hope into despair. Twice it happened. His hope went into despair. First, when he was expecting a good production, the hailstorm came and his hope changed into despair. Secondly, when he was expecting 100 pesos, he got 70 pesos. So, he felt very bad and sad, but he did not give up. His motivation was still the same. Now, last is the postmaster's reaction to Lencho's letter. Postmaster was a very amiable character here, and he said, no, I will not break Lencho's faith in God, and I will help. So he does an act of charity, he contributes money, but he could contribute only 70 pesos. But anyhow, he managed at least 70 pesos will reach Lencho. And so he contributes, and by the name of God, he gives these 70 pesos to him. Now last, Lencho gets angry at receiving less money. He got very annoyed, and the irony in this chapter is the people who had helped him. For those same people, he said that they are a bunch of crooks. Because according to him, God cannot make a mistake. God must have sent 100 pesos to him. But these office employees, these post office employees had taken 30 pesos from that amount. Whereas the reality was that these office employees only were the ones who had given him 70 pesos. So, with this we come to the end of the chapter. Now, so many values we have learned from this chapter. Certain values which you can write in your value based question is that first of all, Lencho was very innocent fellow, and first important value is faith can even move mountains. Faith can move mountains is the first value. You should have faith in God. God is there for you, but only thing is God helps those who helps themselves. You have to make efforts. The push you will get from God. The faith should be there. Second, you should have trust in humanity. Humanity is there, humanity is still alive, humanity is existing. Only thing is you should have trust in humanity. Now, the most of the people don't believe in God, but sometimes impossible things also happen due to God, due to faith in God. So we should have faith in God. Next, we should never lose hope. We should never give up. Next value is, we should never ever cry for what is over. We should never cry, we should never blame others that this has happened, that has happened. What has happened. But we should not sit and cry, instead we should stand up and walk again and run again. So, main is hope, it helps. Very important is, the lesson value is, we should be optimistic. Everywhere we should be optimistic, it is surely going to help us. So with this we come to the end of the chapter. I hope you must have understood the main content and the theme of the chapter. Thank you.